1 2 1 2.
1 2 1 2.
Okay, we're up. We're on.
1 2 1 2. Okay, we're on.
Yeah, alright, I'm gonna have to turn this down just so the stream people don't hear me talk all the time. I don't even like talking all the time, but hey yo, off we go. Continue. I guess I'm gonna have to do this as Miles because he's got the Wolverine suit. Oh, I'm already playing as him. Nice. For now, let's just do let's do this one for Peter, and then best areas for Miles. It's gonna have to be the blue one, isn't it? Because he's wearing the blue in the trailer. Yeah, what a good looking suit that is. Wow. Nice little teaser for the next game. Okay, so here we are. Wolverine, I suppose. I haven't done a normal intro. I've been very busy. I haven't streamed. My headset's broken, so I'm having to both do the audio. I'm doing the audio through the broken headset, but I'm not actually playing the game through it. So the audio is just on my normal HDMI TV, which is all right. You know, it's just a TV, I suppose. Nothing too fancy, but does mean I can actually hear the sound effects with the controller, which is pretty nice. But yeah, Wolverine. I actually started to lose hope. I can't lie. I haven't scripted any of these thoughts, so they're just kind of all over the place as they normally are with these things. I don't look. I'm an actor. I deal with scripts enough as it is. I'm very fortunate in that regard. But at the same time, it's like I like to just save that for my course or hopefully my job one day. But yeah, I do really like the game. I lost hope because after the cyber attacks, obviously, which I massively condemn. Yeah, that was just disgraceful. Being honest with you, that was absolutely disgraceful that happened, and I genuinely thought it cost us the game. But Insomniac, they came in clutch and they've delivered, and I think what they've delivered looks absolutely incredible. Honestly, I think it might be one of the most exciting. I mean, I'm very fortunate, but also very unlucky next year. Just a little bit, you know. These are my thoughts. I do, as much as I don't like to make everything about myself, and I don't like that kind of attention. This is my stream, so I'm just gonna kind of say things, you know, as next year's a very expensive year for me because I graduate. I graduate next July. And with my graduation, there is 3 big games that I'm very excited for. Lego Batman, Legacy of the Dark Knight, Wolverine, and of course, the long-anticipated GTA 6, which, you know, it kind of goes without saying, GTA 6 is going to be probably the one I buy day one. GTA and Wolverine I'm going to buy day one. So whatever I have left from my student loan, which hopefully should be a bit, I am trying to be a bit more sensible with my finances. But GTA 6 in particular is coming out, is being bought day of release. But yeah, with regards to like the Wolverine gameplay, I did see the leaks, okay, and I'm not proud to admit this, but I did see the leaks. And the thing with that is, like, it was one of those cases where it felt wrong watching it because this is the hard work of so many, of hundreds of people that already Insomniac struggle because I do believe they had some significant layoffs, which is just awful for any company. But at the same time, to have their entire company just, you know, assaulted like that, it really did. Yeah, it sucked. It sucked. But I did see the gameplay. You know, I did choose to watch it. Again, not proud of it, but it's one of those that was right in front of me, and a lot of willpower was needed to avoid watching that. And at that moment, I just didn't have enough. But I loved what I saw. I absolutely loved it. I loved the Japanese setting. I loved um, the stealth aspect. I loved everything. It felt like everything I loved about all of these games is kind of rolled up into one. You have the stealth, you have the combat, you had all these different aspects, and it was just amazing. Like, it was such a cool, cool thing, and to see it like fully polished and with a release window, it was just magnificent. Honestly, it was such an awesome experience to to witness, and I really enjoyed what I saw. Particularly with regards to how it was played. I recently played God of War this year. I never made any videos of it or anything because, to be honest, I just wanted to enjoy the game. It was during my gap year. I just wanted to just enjoy what I was seeing, and I thoroughly loved God of War. I'd never played any of the early games because I was with a lot of these games, I'm quite late getting into them. Obviously, things like the superhero games, I'll play like day release because that's what I was into as a kid. So, like mainstream, like blockbuster titles, I'm a little bit late. I'm late to the party with. I was with The Last of Us. I was with. Trying to think what other games I've played. Things like Star Wars, the Jedi games. I played those like as and when they came out because I love Star Wars. Although I haven't cared much for it in the last sort of 2 years or since after Ahsoka ended. That was the last good thing I enjoyed. But anyway, not Star Wars here. What I saw of the game, I thought looked incredible of Wolverine. Like, honestly, the trailer. I was watching a live streamer react to the state of play. I watched the whole state of play, and for the most part, I was getting quite disappointed. I thought, oh, okay, the God of War theme controller looks awesome. Am I going to buy it? Probably not. As much as I do want to get a second controller to play Lego Batman with my brother, I'd rather just get a cheaper default one, or if I was to pay the extra bit for it, I'd want the Spider-Man 2 one from that bundle that came out, because again, Spider-Man 2 is one of my favourite games that I've ever played, hence why I'm playing it now, with the Wolverine suit for Miles. But truthfully speaking, I thought, I thought it wasn't going to happen. I thought all like the hope was gone, and it was just going to be cancelled, because I know loads of games have been cancelled, and it's like, I thought it was just a pipe dream seeing both Wolverine and Spider-Man 2 announced on the same day. Spider-Man 2 obviously came out 2 years later, on my birthday, in fact, my 20th birthday. But yeah, it was just so. Hello, viewer that's just entered. I hope you're doing well. Sorry, I did just see on the screen. I think they're gone. Like, I don't know. I love what I saw. I really did love what I saw. It was such a. I'm saying that a lot because it's all I can say. In terms of like the story aspects, I really hope Mystique is playable. Because one thing I love about these Marvel Insomniac games is that they do tend to add a second playable character, or third, or even fourth in some cases. The big one, like I think of, is when we play as Venom in this game, which for me is one of my favourite parts of the game. If not my favourite, I don't know. It's very hard to pick what my favourite part of this game is, because I love the whole thing. I'd say probably the Miles versus Peter fight, the ending, Peter versus Harry, and then of course Harry versus Oscorp and Kraven. I really hope Mystique is playable. I really do. I hope we get some other like hidden surprises. Particularly one I would love to see. Oh yeah, hello mate. Oh hello, Soap Centered City. How you doing, mate? It's good to have you on board. Really good to have you on the stream, mate. Yeah, it's been a while since I've done a few streams recently, but truthfully, I've just kind of kept myself to myself. Yeah, it's good to have you on board, mate. But yeah, I'd love to see Sabretooth playable, but with a different playstyle to Logan. Kind of like that aggressive Venom Hulk-like. Sorry, I've missed your streams. Hey, it's all right, mate. They've been very spontaneous, and to be honest, I didn't think I was going to get to stream for a while because my headset broke. But I thankfully I'm still able to use the microphone on it, so it's all right. It's just the audio for me is not great. I hope that shouldn't impact the streams at all. But if it does, just let me know and I'll look into it. But yeah, it's good to have you on board, mate. I hope you're keeping well, and I hope you have a good weekend ahead of you. I'm probably going to be quite busy this weekend. I just started back up at uni again, and I can't wait for the Wolverine game. I mean, Wolverine and I share... Oh, hang on. Get the rest of that comment up. Share the same name. Logan! Logan, I love that name. Thanks so much, mate. You as well. Thanks, man. I appreciate that. But Logan, I friggin' love that name. I love it. It's such a good name. I have a cousin called Logan who I don't speak to just because families and stuff. But at the same time, I do admire the choice of name. It's a sick name. But for you stay, my first day, I thought I did. Yeah, I hope you're doing well after the fight. Glad you managed to look after yourself, but hopefully you haven't gotten into any trouble over it. Because unfortunately, one of the downsides of sticking up for yourself is the sort of bother that comes. Hello, one above all. I hope you're doing okay, mate. I'm pretty good, thank you. I hope you're doing all right. Yeah, it's nice to have an audience tonight. Probably one of the few chances I'm going to get to actually. I'll try and stream a bit over the weekend. I recently got cast in a lead role for the first. Well, I've played leading roles, but I've never played the lead role of my final uni production, which I thought was absolutely bizarre because I've been away for a year. I haven't acted, I haven't performed for. Well, my last major performance, I did a little bit of stuff here and there, but the last thing I did was I was suspended and he was going to report me to the old bill, but I doubt that would work. I'm sorry, mate. I'm really sorry. I really hope that you're able to kind of hit things off from the ground running again. Nice, congrats. Thank you, one above all. I really appreciate that, mate. Thank you so much. Thank you. Honestly, I really appreciate it. I do hope things get better with regards to uni and the fight. It's a very tricky situation because when someone, when a violent encounter occurs, you're faced with the choice of, do I defend myself and risk unfortunately getting into trouble? Thanks, mate. It's all right. It's all good, mate. Or do you just not fight back and risk getting seriously injured? It's unfortunately such a double-edged sword, and I always say, if a fight can be avoided, then by all means don't go there. But if you're facing a situation where your health could be at risk, then absolutely fighting a rowdy bloke, that says it all, mate. Rowdy blokes, rowdy people, they're just arseholes. They are the worst. Honestly, I'm surprised I haven't got in a fight with one myself yet. I say yeah, I'm trying to avoid it. I don't go out as much, but truth be told, I know, right, he's the one that hit me for... Okay, so you didn't throw the first punch, you were just defending yourself. So, he started it, you finished it fair and square, and you're the one that's bearing the consequence of that. I think that is massively unfair. Honestly, that is completely unfair. Like, you shouldn't... I mean, I understand, ramifications for, hitting someone. I completely get that. But at the same time, I think there should be a bit of leeway because you were just protecting yourself. And at the same time, you've got you know, responsibilities ahead of you, and it's like, if you don't look after yourself, shouting at students and teachers and try to have a go at me. Yeah. Oh shoot! I just embarrassed myself there. That guy was the guy sounds like a jackass. He sounds like a right bellend. Sorry, excuse the language. I try not to swear in these streams or videos, but at the same time, if someone's being Tom, you're basically Mick Carter Jr. I doubt anyone wants to fight you. I'll take that as the highest compliment anyone can give. I freaking love Mick Carter, and I'm really praying that one day he just washes up at shore and he just forgets the whole Janine thing and gets back with Linda and knocks out Max again and yeah, lives happily ever after. But it's EastEnders, so that'll never ever happen. Even if I offered all of my student loans to Danny Dyer just to film for a day, which is like, I don't know, over £3,000. Yeah, £3,000 for the day. He'd still probably say no. But yeah, honestly, when it comes to fights, I've managed to. I mean, the only person who I've ever like had a proper fight with, and the only person who has a right to fight me is my brother. But then that's every sibling fights, you know, every single sibling will scuffle. So the way I don't really see that as a proper. And also, when I say fight, no punches were exchanged between myself and my brother. We just sort of grappled and wrestled. Even though we both have the tenacity and the strength to fight and to throw punches, we just didn't want to hurt each other even though we were fighting, which is weird, but it must be like a brother dynamic. And oh sorry, I was rewatching Stuart versus Mick videos. Their feud is amazing, just the way I remember. I completely agree. I think Mick and Stuart, honestly, one of the best feuds in EastEnders. I have to be a bit impartial because even though Mick is my favourite character on that show and always has been, and you know, nearly 3 years after his exit, he still is, I have to admit there have been feuds which have rivaled, if not beaten, Mick and Stuart, and I find that very hard to admit, but Jack and Ravi, I'm just in awe of that feud right now. One above all, if you're not sure what we're referring to, it's EastEnders. If you watch it, that's amazing. I have kudos because I find it a chore to watch these days. But yeah, there's been some great feuds. I am glad that they've retired Phil from the mental health, from the fighting side, because the mental health storyline has been the best one that they've done. I'd say the best storyline they've done since Mick's abuse story, which started 5 years ago. So that's a bit concerning that they've only just managed to do so. I mean, there's been some bangers, there's been some really good stories, but also not many. Don't get me started on sibling fights. Yeah, I completely agree. Sibling fights. Sadly, Danny said he left because he didn't like Mick splitting with Linda. Getting with Janine, just having. I honestly saw that and I couldn't agree more. In fact, I think had they have not done that, there's a chance he could still be on the show today. The thing is, I kind of understand what happened from a writing perspective, because if you go back to Mick's abuse storyline in I've never watched it before. Honestly, it's good, but it can also be a chore to watch, mate. It can be a massive chore. Sometimes, to be honest, I'm at the point now where I barely watch a full episode. It's one of them. It's been going on for 40 years, and sometimes it's the best on TV, and others it's absolutely abysmal. But with Mick's abuse storyline, the way they wrote that, the way they sort of characterized his struggles, and it felt like a full circle moment for the character, because when he came in, he was very much at the forefront of protecting his family, and from a storyline perspective, you break down that layer. You introduce this long lost child who was a byproduct of such a traumatic ordeal. You're kind of bringing the character full circle, because you're having other people step up for him after, at that point, 8 years of being an absolute rock to everyone else, and being a leader, being a good father, a good role model. When it came to the aftermath of that story, I feel like they kind of hit a wall with Mick, and they couldn't do anything that was actually, satisfactory or honouring of the character. And to be honest, that whole year, the Carter family were just destroyed. Because you had Nancy leave, you had Frankie left, Mick left, Shirley left, and they just kind of broke the whole unit down, and it was such a shame, because I've done it again. I was just trying to adjust my glasses, and they just destroyed that entire family, and it broke my heart, because the Carters were my favourite family on the show. Literally right from when I started watching, which was over 10 years ago. I actually started watching during the 30th anniversary. So I was pretty young, and the Carters were one of the central story, central families during that whole time. Because at that point, the big storyline was, I forgot the producer was, but they were terrible. It was Clenshaw. No, actually, no. Clenshaw was the one who did Mick's exit. In fact, that was his first Christmas. It was John Sen, I think. Yeah, it was John Sen before Chris Clenshaw. I don't understand what happened, because John Sen he was the producer behind the abuse story, and then he also decided to split up Mick and Linda just as Clenshaw was coming in. So I don't know what happened. I really don't know. I think, unfortunately, I think one of the downfalls was having such a tight dynamic and a tight partnership, with such as Kelly Bright and Danny Dyer, is if one of them takes a break or goes out temporarily, you then have to write for the other character, and unfortunately it's only until Mick left permanently that they've actually started to give Linda more of a solo part. But whenever one of them would go out, the only thing the writers could think of was either cheating or separating. Go back to 2017 when both of them went out temporarily. Linda had already gone on her first maternity break. And you've got 2018, during the 2017, it did the stupid Mick and Whitney thing, which was a massive contradiction to what the previous executive producer wanted for the characters. Because Dominic Treadwell Collins created Mick and Linda as a sort of homage to his own parents, who clearly never cheated, because he specifically said he wanted them to be the first couple that wouldn't cheat. And as soon as Collins left, and it's just Danny and Kelly from that whole group, because obviously he created Mick and Linda, so he worked quite closely with them for those 2 years. But what was I going to say? As soon as they left, that changed, because obviously in 2017 you had the whole Mick and Whitney thing. In 2018 you had the whole Danny went on a break again to do the theatre runs, and then they had the whole Linda Stewart thing, which I get was a really cool twist in the end, having Linda be set it up. And then you had the Linda and Max thing, which I I hated that. I really hated that. That made Linda a really... I thought Linda was as unlikable during the affair storyline as she was when she was drinking. And that is hard to say because I love Linda. No. Yeah. No, I get you. Yeah, Kelly, was it John? Clenshaw was the one. We don't talk about Linda. Yeah, no, I agree. Although, as much as I hate to admit it, I am excited to see them finally confront each other after, you know, with obviously Max finding out. But I just hope they don't sort of cop out the reunion for... I'm hoping that they've already set up, or that Max and Cindy have shown they're going to shag. I'm sorry, but they're going to... Oh god, I'm dreading that. They're going to shag. They're going to... It's going to be like... Yeah, I'm not looking forward to that, but it's just going to happen. Literally, ever since Cindy came back, and ever since word of Max coming back, it's like, oh god, I don't want to see this, but it's going to happen, unfortunately. I'm hoping they get that out the way and they do the Stacy break storyline to then have a proper, like, good couple of episodes worth of drama between Max and Linda. And yeah, I feel, because there's a lot of drama there, because obviously Jack's known since Annie was born. Lauren found out. I'm back in like cooking, middle of making cookies. Oh mate, that's awesome. Yeah man, take your time. Well, I'll still be here when you get back. I hope they're good cookies, man. Yeah, hopefully that goes well. I would ask for one, but obviously that's not possible. So no, I'm joking. I'm just being a cheeky sod there. But yeah, mate. I hope you have a good time, and I'll see you back shortly, mate. What was I saying?
Symbiote's cock could be dragging people off the street like that.
To be honest, I just hope that they give Linda some more work, because I loved the fact that they really did manage to set her up as her own character after Nick left. But at the same time, I feel like all they're doing is they're just rehashing old stories. And don't get me started on the way that they handled Dean. Dean should have not come back. Honestly, that should... Oh my god, what the hell? Have you seen Zoe and Max? I think that's dumb. It's so stupid. How do you just coincidentally bump into... I mean, I get it's a small world and all that, but... Honest to God, just... I mean, don't get me wrong, it's nice to see Max being Max again. He somehow has not got any form of STI. Because I know in like the sort of backstory that they've started to set up post-exit, Max was still, you know, running around as the top shagger that he is. But at the same time, I just think, Zoe? You really have to shoehorn Max into... I mean, I can't lie. I thoroughly enjoyed the episodes where Zoe came back. I am enjoying... I have enjoyed that week, especially with like Jack versus Ravi, and then Zoe getting thrown into the gun drama, and how they managed to, you know, tell that story in the flashbacks from 2006. It was awesome. But at the same time... it just felt like a bit of a cop-out, personally. I don't think that should be a lot... I feel like they've also done it to set up Stacey's exit, which... I hate saying that, by the way. I don't want Lacey Turner. I know it's supposed to be a break, but... I love Stacey. I know she's a very problematic and flawed character, and... not a good person per se, but at the same time I love Lacey Turner, and I think she's probably, I'm going to say it, I think she's the best actress on the show. I strongly think Cat Slate is good, don't get me wrong, but Lacey Turner is the best female actress on EastEnders, and I did end up casting a vote for her in one of the awards. I love her. I absolutely adore her skills as an actress. She's brilliant. But I don't know. I feel like the whole Max thing, especially after Martin's dying, it's just a bit of a cop out, in it. Like, oh, we've got to revisit this again. They revisited it in 2017, and I'm like, just let it die. It was iconic, and just let it be in the past. I like Easter eggs. I like when they do Easter eggs to these things, because for example, the only reference I appreciated during the whole Zoe return was the fact that they had that big sort of confrontation in the same place that the You Ate My Mother scene happened. That is it. It's a nice homage. You don't need to revisit the story umpteen thousand times. And now they're trying to do the whole she was pregnant with Dennis Rittman's kids. I'm like, well, Dennis is dead, so he's not coming back to be a part of that. Denny is dead because, you know, the show had to have some stakes for the 35th anniversary. But why Dennis? Why Dennis? I just thought it was really silly. I thought it was really silly the way they did that. But yeah, I love how this has gone from a Wolverine thoughts to just an EastEnders rant. I don't care. I love talking about the things I like. It's better than talking in politics. But yeah, it's just been a bit of a cop out, hasn't it? Like, I'm back. Hello, mate. I hope the cookies are doing good. I really do. And I hope you're doing well as well, mate. But yeah, it's been, to be honest, when it came to the state of play, the only reason I was bothered to watch it all, because normally I watch these things with my brother. That was during my year off, we watched the Game Awards together, we watched the showcases together, the state of plays. It was just because my brother he's an ex-game student, so he kind of gaming is something we've always sort of bonded over, as well as movies and TV shows. Even though I'm a bit of a late bloomer into gaming, but at the same time, I started to lose hope that this game was even going to happen. I do think it would have come out perhaps a year or two earlier, following, had the cyber attacks not happened. But at the same time, just to be able to watch it, I watched it because a streamer I like really watches it. And bearing in mind, I don't really watch many streamers, so I thought, I'll go on then. I made pink lemonade sugar cookies. It's absolutely amazing. They sound gorgeous. Honestly, they sound amazing. Flavour, I bet they even look pretty. I really wish that YouTube had a function where you could, I mean, it's probably for the best they don't, in case people decide to be weird with it, but a function where you can post pictures into the live chat. Again, that'd probably be mortifying for obvious reasons, but just to see what the cookies look like, that's just sick. That's fucking cool. Oh god, I've done it again. I really try not to swear in vid. I've sworn a few times in comments, but sometimes that would be nice. It would be really cool. It would be really cool. I think that would be a cool function to have. Perhaps they can do it where you can approve members. I don't do memberships, but you can approve loyal subscribers for free. Just because I'll never ever pay charge any of you guys for memberships. I don't do enough on YouTube to justify even setting it up, let alone I don't have anything to sell to you guys. I talk and that's it. And bearing in mind, if I'm not a full-time content creator, I just do this for fun. I've been on YouTube making videos and live streams for over 10 years. and I've never earned a penny off it. Well, to be fair, I probably couldn't anyway, because all of my content... Sorry, I'm back. Hello, mate. I hope you're doing alright. I hope you're doing alright, mate. What was I saying? I do this because it's better than often speaking to real people. Well, I say you guys are real people, like people in person, if that makes sense. I don't go out anymore, and I'm trying to get back into this stuff because I kind of fell into a bit. No, there's no kind of about it. I fell into the wrong crowd, so I'm just trying to pick my social confidence back up. And thankfully, I'm very fortunate because having people like you guys, the One of Us All, and Soak Scented City, it's really nice because I get to be myself in a way that public interaction diminishes that, and it's nice. Like I get to talk about things like EastEnders, Wolverine. Wolverine is just the headline of the stream. I don't think I'm going to make all my thoughts about Wolverine. So if you guys want to ask me anything, like anything at all, I love Q&As. So it can be about literally anything. Just avoid politics is all I ask. Because the world is crap enough as it is. And whilst I have got a lot to say on certain matters, I do often ask myself, is my opinion, is my opinion valid if I don't know the full ins and outs of a situation? So when it comes to politics, I tend to stay away from stuff just for that reason. But I agree, nice one. I am glad to have people on the same wavelength there. But yeah, I feel the same. Yeah, I love having conversations about things that are just more positive, and whether it be fiction, whether it be food, whether it be extracurricular hobbies, and just things that are so much more like they're just positive things to talk about. I can talk all day long about my my sort of special interests. Hey Tom, have you seen my Jason Moore? I've seen a couple of them, yeah. I'm not too familiar with General Hospital, but from what I have seen, it looks pretty cool, I can't lie. It does look really cool. I don't know if I'd watch the full series, but I'd definitely follow up more on the clips because it does look like a really cool show. Totally understandable. Do what you want because we only get one life, and no one knows what could happen tomorrow, so best to make what you want today every day. I couldn't agree more, mate. Honestly, it's such a good way of putting it. You do only get one life, and often, things like the news and often normal like public interaction is such an emphasis on the negative things going on in the world. And I'd just like to use this platform as a place to just talk things positive, and hopefully build a community of people that, share like-minded interests. And when I say interests, you don't have to agree with everything that I say as well. I'm a very easygoing person when it comes to opinion. Obviously, certain opinions I do think I will have strong views about if they are like blatantly hateful, but outside of that, I don't really care in the nicest way of putting it. If you disagree, then that's absolutely fine, but it's just things like that where you can just kind of, I like this to be a place where people can just kind of let their hair down. Or if you're like me and you got a buzz cut or just really short hair, let your beard hang low. But yeah, honestly, I completely agree. You only do get one life. And back to the General Hospital stuff, I do think he's a very interesting character, Jason. I like that fight scene he had with his brother. when his brother was in a suit and he was in a really like tight looking leather jacket. Honestly, I swear there's this thing where people will often buy shirts that are just really, really tight and uncomfortable looking. It's because the costume department have to justify why he's wearing it to look cool. I think a lot of it is an aesthetic thing, but it just looks so uncomfortable to wear and so impractical as well. I'm surprised he managed to swing as much leather as he did. No pun intended there, but swing as much as he did with the sort of leather fabric. I don't know what I'm calling fabric there. I don't know textiles. I dropped art for a reason. But yeah, it's just, I don't know. I just think the whole fight was pretty good looking. Kind of reminded me of Jason Hasn't it. See, the jacket does look amazing. I can't lie. I'm just absolutely amazed as to how well he could actually fight in it. But then I suppose they've got to have some kind of, the costume department have got to kind of implement some sort of flexibility surrounding it. Because often costume does have an influence on character motivation and sort of says a lot about the character themselves. So surely they took that into account, and he must have been fine, like actually doing the or performing the stunts and the choreography. So I don't know, maybe it's just a perception thing. Like, it looks uncomfortable, but it's actually really practical. It does look really good though. It looks uncomfortable but really cool. So I got to give credit for that. But yeah, it does look like a really cool show. So I will give more of it a bit of a view. I'm gonna have to get used to wearing like dress shirts and stuff like that again. I haven't worn them for a long time. I tell a lie, I did. I have worn one at my nan's funeral, but like, it's not a common thing that I wear. Like, it's not a common thing that I wear often. And for Death of the Salesman, I know I'm going to have to wear that for the role of Willie. But I don't know. Yeah, I just think costume is a very cool thing. But yeah, yeah. I've completely forgot what I was going to say there. Oh shoot. Slingshot. There you are. But yeah, I'm very surprised about landing. Thing is, I was very lucky because my director for Death of a Salesman is one that I've worked with before. He's actually the head of my course at uni. He is the best director I've ever worked with, so he knew me really well, and he was really happy when he heard that I was coming back after a year out. So, you know, I kind of had an idea that it was going to be something good, but I didn't even read. I didn't read for. No, I read for Willie as my second choice, because my main choice was actually his son, and he just said I was a natural pick, and I was like, oh, okay, I'm going to take that. Oh shoot, I've done it again. Third time this stream. Normally I'm really good at these. There you are. But I just thought, like, I'm going to take that. It's the most amount of lines that I'll ever have to learn, for at least in uni, as it is my last like major show. If I do another show, it's all depending on the final project, because we have options, and just see what the group is kind of feeling and what I'm feeling as well. But I just thought, like, sure, I'll yeah. Very dark role, I can't lie. So I'm going to probably keep my therapist on speed dial. But it's I love acting. So, you know, it's what I've invested thousands of pounds into, but also nearly 10 years of my life. You know, I started acting when I was 14,
save the people in the
22 next month, so nearly 8 years since the first show. So yeah, I can stretch that to 10. Why not? Makes it sound better.
Right here, symbiote.
But
Come on.
it's one of those, like, it's daunting, it's nerve-wracking, but at the same time, if I can't do it now, will I ever? And it's also the last guaranteed opportunity to act, to my knowledge, for a very long time, until, you know, because I'm fortunate enough to have a placement after Christmas. I don't know where it's going to be, but I kind of doubt it's going to be an acting role. I have the option to do that with a pantomime, but I don't sing. So, and also I can't commute to a panto, unfortunately, which is I'm very gutted about. But at the same time, I'd rather just kind of keep my eggs open rather than putting it all in one basket. And truthfully, I'm not the biggest panto fan. They're fun. I like watching them, but doing them, I think it would depend. Do you enjoy Glass Onion? Yes, I do. I really enjoy Glass Onion's channel. I don't know what it is, but somehow his sort of video quality, he gets it. It's almost like I'm watching it straight off of iPlayer. I don't know how he does it. It's weird because, like, obviously I know I kind of know the process when it comes to like screen recording clips and uploading clips, and that is, in my opinion, one of the best parts of it. But I don't know how he does it. It's weird in a good way, but it's also incredibly fascinating. I do like his fight compilations. I really, to be fair, I like everyone who does fight compilations, but he's been extremely consistent with it. We're gonna have to get a secret. Honestly, one thing I would like to see more of, because we see it a lot in the soap communities, like with Danny May's channel, and you know, just kind of all over. I'd like to see more. Like top 10, more like, because the thing is with these channels is I watch more than one soap channel, not because of what they're posting, but because it's a place to, like, almost bond. It, like, because I've subscribed to you, I've subscribed to Glass Onion, I've subscribed to the East End Boy. I used to watch the Silent Killer 55 when he uploaded EE Scenes. Have I said Danny May? Danny May. I've subscribed to all of these people, and often when a fight happens in a soap, I'm getting multiple of the same videos on my sub feed. The reason why I like that is because it's a place to interact with those content creators about what they've just posted, and that's why that's why it's like, it's just very community driven, and that's why I like seeing, because I know when Jack and Ravi fought again, you posted it, Danny May posted it. I was like, okay, I'm gonna watch both videos because I want to see what you guys all think of it. That's why I watch them. Otherwise, I just watched one video, and truthfully, that'd be boring. That'd be boring. I like the community side of things. I do see you've just had. I love Danny's channel, but honestly, his viewers can be agitating when it comes to fighting. When they know very little. Yeah, that I completely agree with that. That does often get under my skin. The way people rank characters and their fighting abilities is very cringe. I'm going to be brutally honest. It is very cringe how people rank. Like, because at the end of the day, and this is something I haven't had to pay X amount of money to learn this. This is just, Stan Lee himself made this very open. When two characters fight, the outcome is whoever the writers want it to be. That is the bottom line. Like, fortunately, the activity and the way characters are written to fight, punching someone doesn't count as a feat. What? I swear I've seen that comment. I can't remember who posted it, but honestly, whoever made that comment is... I don't think we'd be friends if we're really... If I knew who they were. It's just a silly excuse. Like, the literal definition of you know, engaging in a punch is, well, it's a physical form of assault, and if we're talking fights here, you kind of have to throw punches. You can, alright, yeah, if you want to rely solely on kicks, like you're in Taekwondo, or grappling, if you're in Jiu-Jitsu, fair enough, but most people, even if they don't know how to throw one properly, tend to throw punches or slaps. It's a physical exchange of a, you know, an unarmed blow. So when people, like, don't, I don't know, it's such a silly thing, but like, if a character is written to win all the time, it's because the writers, that's what the writers want. It's the reason why Phil Mitchell has won most, if not all, of his fights that he's been in. And the odd time he's been either overpowered or he's been, or just flat out beaten. It's because that loss is beneficial to the character's development within the story. Think of when Jack Brannon lost to Ravi. On paper, Ravi would guarantee to beat Jack because he's younger, he's better built, and in that instance, it's a guaranteed win. But at the same time, these are fictional fights that are being written by writers. That's such a stupid... I'm so sorry, that is such a stupid saying. Obviously written by... It's written with that outcome in mind. So if they wanted to have Jack Brannon smash the living daylights out of Ravi, no difference, then that's what they would do. But they... And the good thing is with that... The reason why I go back to Jack and Ravi is because of the consistency and the realism behind their feud. They hate each other. And they take into account genuine factors. They took into account Jack was swinging wildly when he first hit Ravi. They took into account Ravi's being in prison, so he will fight dirty, hence why he started punching him in the... I don't think that was the back of the head. They look more like neck punches, or they look more like the lower, like the upper part of someone's spine after the neck. They look like they could kill him. Like they were brutal, and it's dirty fighting. But that's what someone like Ravi, who has been to prison for assault, bearing in mind, has murdered both of his father figures. Of course he's going to do that, because they wrote him. That is his character. When he beat Keanu, I think I said to you actually. Every single time Ravi has thrown a punch after his first appearance, it's always been followed by a full-on fight or just a flat-out beating. Because that is the kind of character that Ravi's been written to be. And that's what makes him so enjoyable. Jack Brannon, despite the fact he can be one of the most miserable sods in TV history, is an amazing fighter because he's consistent with his fights, and they wrote that consistency in. You know, when he fought Martin, Martin was getting his licks in, and by all means he put up an amazing fight, but Jack has more experience, and the writers decided, okay, we're going to have this outcome. Jack got the last 2 punches in and managed to punch Martin over a wall. It's like they thought that through, and they wrote that outcome with that in mind. You did just put another comment, so I'm just going to stop swinging for a second. I'll have them on the wall like a spider. or when they say they aren't as hard as they thought they were. First things first, everybody's going to be tougher than somebody else. That's how it goes, and they're not going to win every single. I couldn't agree more. And that's actually more realistic that way. Martin versus Jack was amazing. Yeah, I think that's everyone has their match at some point. Everyone will meet their match, and that's just life. Because you're not young forever. You're not emotionally in control all the time, and that's the way. That's just how it is. Like people saying they didn't think, And the thing that really gets under my nerves with Hardman or like just fighter rankings, this really gets under my skin. When a character hasn't fought for X amount of time, they're then classed as just not tough. I'm sorry, but if you were to fight every single day, one, you'd probably die. Two, if you didn't die, you'd end up in prison because at some point someone's bound to report the fact that you're fighting. Gotta go. I got a bunch of stuff tomorrow, so see you guys till next time. Love you too, mate. You take care and you stay safe. I will be back on another stream soon, and we'll have all the time to talk. But yeah, I hope you're doing well, man, and I hope you take care. So, all right, one above all. Take care, bro. Shoot, I'm getting my ass handed to me again. Yeah, I completely agree with regards to, people get old. And the fact that, Phil, for example, he had an amazing 2022. That, for me, was the retirement of his hardman career, because he'd done everything he needed to by that point. So, he had, what was it? He fought in prison, he took an L. Phil Mitchell lost a fight, who'd have thought? But still, I've got, oh, hang on, someone down here. Aha. They are dead. But people are just so stupid when it comes to fictional violence. They're just, as someone who has done and is qualified in specifically unarmed combat, I'm qualified in unarmed and single-handed sworded combat. But particularly with unarmed combat, people don't understand how physically demanding it is. I was just about to say that. People fail to realise Phil is a 63-year-old man. Do you expect him to still be as active as... yeah, exactly. To be honest, I think we've been very lucky with Phil Mitchell fight scenes over the last 10 years. Because, bearing in mind he is in his 60s, bearing in mind Steve McFadden, he probably has his own sort of lifestyle and health and a health style. I do not want to see an actor go through the physical intensity of a fight, of rehearsing the choreography, blocking the fight, doing the fight, and doing several takes of the fight as it's on camera, and they want to cover different cover. It is not safe for a man, in his 60s to do that. Obviously, if Steve McFadden has nutritionists and but Steve McFadden has said he has health injuries and wants to do his choreography. I think that, again, he's been on the show for over 35 years. What more has he got to prove? What more has that man got to prove? He's done everything, and the fact he's still on it now is it's just amazing. It's just amazing that bloke is still going as strong as he is, and he's finally being given material that broadens him as an actor after 35 years of being carrying the show, and he still is carrying the show. It's just the way that they've kind of dealt with the way people sort of react to that is so inconsiderate. Like, I've been very fortunate that I was 20 at the time I did the course, the stage combat course, I was in so much pain after it was a week. Oh my god. After a week of all of that, I was in so much pain, and to expect that of a 63-year-old man who is consistently on the show, it's just unreasonable. Would you stay on the show for 30 years, and what storylines would you like to be given? I would stay on the show. Well, I mean, the biggest reason to stay on the show would be for job security. If you land a hit, and the character's a hit, and everyone loves that character, and there's so much you can do with that character, then yeah, I'd do 30 years. That show would cover my mortgage. That'll bring up my kids. I'd probably struggle with that bit, to be honest, because of the working hours that actors have on TV. You'd probably spend a lot less time with your kids. But if it was a regular break system where I could go and spend time with family, I know my mortgage would get paid, any other expenses would be paid, you know, all that adult crap that unfortunately is just part of life. Storylines, I don't want an affair. That's all. I don't want to cheat. I would rather, if I was in an affair, or if I was involved in an affair storyline, I would rather be the one who's being cheated on, because in my opinion that is much better. That is much better material, because you are then tasked with the responsibility of, okay, well, how do I deliver justice to those who suffer from adultery or from that kind of issue, because it is such a sensitive topic. You know, people do get cheated on, people do cheat, and for me, I feel like from a male perspective, being the one who's cheated on is a much tougher challenge, and I feel like from an acting point, you have to be tested and you have to be pushed, and I feel like it'll be harder to perform a storyline where you are the victim of adultery and you are the one that is being hurt in that, you know, in that regard. So that'd be the only sort of involvement I'd have with a cheating story. But in terms of other stories, I would like, obviously I'd love a feud, someone who's, you know, I might be physically stronger than them, but they've got more power, they've got more social power, mental power. Because that, in my opinion, is what sells a good feud. It's when you are pushed to your very limits, and you know things turn ugly. That is what sells a good feud storyline for me. That's why I love Mick and Stewart so much, and why Jack and Ravi has been a hit over the last 2 years. But yeah, a feud storyline. And to be honest, as much as I'm very anti-politics, I'd love a good issue-based story. One that's going to get people talking and hopefully start a conversation that's much needed. You know, the best storylines I think EastEnders have done, Mick's abuse, Phil's mental health. I thought, being honest with you, I thought, as ridiculous as it became with the Theo storyline, I thought Stacey turning to online sex work and cam work, the reasonings for that was so well written. Again, they kind of escalated it with the whole child pregnancy thing. Again, that was powerful, because unfortunately it is something that happens. I kind of regret saying unfortunately, yeah, because that just almost sounds like it's leading on to political opinion. But we'll just ignore that. What's crazy that people mocked Phil during. I hope to God that anyone who mocked Phil never actually has to go through what that storyline portrayed. Like, genuinely, I hope they never. What goes on in somebody's mind is. It can be darker than anything that's ever depicted in fiction or in documentaries or whatever. Like, I like to think they're mocking it because they don't understand it, and they're just simple pieces of shit. Excuse my language. If they are, then they deserve to be rudely awakened regarding that, because that is something that I connected with that storyline so deeply, and I still do. So anyone who mocks it, they're just twats. They're honestly, like, and I hope they never have to suffer the way that Phil was portrayed to suffer in that story, because it's such a horrible thing to feel, horrible thing to go through. And to be quite honest, it's something that just never goes away. Like, what would really do my head in now is if they, and kind of like what happened, I know with the Linda stuff, I was a bit annoyed that they did the whole relapse, but that happens, relapsing happens, and mental health is exactly the same. Mate, I have to go for 10 minutes. My bird wants me to get dinner for tonight. No problem, mate. No problem at all. I'll see you shortly, mate, but hopefully you have a good tea, and I hope all's well with the family. I agree. Yeah, 100%, honestly. I just think that mental health needs to be properly, like, respected and supported. But yeah, speaking of character, even though it's at 12 a.m. What time is it, actually? Oh, yeah. Oh, Jesus Christ. That is quite late. One character... sorry, I'm going to take a quick drink. Have a quick drink break, because my throat is getting really dry. That's one thing I'm not looking forward to when it comes to Death of a Salesman, how dry my throat is going to get from all the dialogue. Bearing in mind I'm doing it in an accent for the first time in a while. I'll say that my last one was in an accent, but it was different. Where's me drink? Oh, there it is. I've got the light off, so it's right bloody next to me. Oh, shoot. Excuse me. Quick drink break, just to sort of oh, shoot. Anyone watching the VOD, I'm so sorry if you just heard a horrible gulping sound. I hate that. But another character that deals with such complex emotions is Logan, Wolverine, which is one reason why I love this character, because he was a character who was cursed with immortality, much like Deadpool. I really hope that in the game they explore that, because the trailer was off to a great start with you know, been fighting a long time. I'd like to say I'm not a violent man, because that shows that deep down Wolverine doesn't want to hurt anyone, but he's got no choice. His power set is completely filled with it's all bloodlust, it's all hatred and rage, and you know, there's no way he can use his powers without hurting someone, because even if he's there's just no way that guy can't kill. It's amazing. Ah, shoot, I just wasted that ability. Never mind. Yeah, I can't wait for this game, for Wolverine. I'm gonna be honest, I don't know what I'm most excited for, because GTA 6 is the sequel that the whole world has been waiting for the last 12, nearly 13 years. Yeah, 12 years as of this month, but Wolverine has been hyped up for nearly 5 years. I just think that next year is going to be... Bearing in mind, next year you've got things like, you've got Avengers Doomsday, you've got Avatar. This next year is going to be an awesome year for fiction. For gaming, for movies, for TV. You've got Star Wars returning to the big screen after The Rise of Skywalker. You've got, you know, you've got Toy Story coming back. I know that should have ended years ago, but at the same time, hey, you put a Toy Story film out, I'm going to watch it. And there's so many... I'm a Daredevil Born Again Season 2. For those of you who are really starting to take to the DCU, you've got Supergirl next year, and I've heard many good things about Superman, so I'm going to watch Superman. I'm going to watch it. It's going to be my clean slate with DC. Oh god damn it. You got Lego Batman Legacy of the Dark Knight next year. You've got Wolverine. You've got so much cool stuff. Because admittedly, this year has had some good things, don't get me wrong. I've really enjoyed Fantastic Four and Thunderbolts and Daredevil Born Again. I thought Spider-Man, Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man started off absolutely terribly, but got better. Truthfully, I think it got a bit better. But it didn't have their strongest start, dare I say. It was a bit bad. But yeah, I thought it was a really good. This year's been good for some fiction, but next year I'm really excited for what's coming up next year. Particularly Doomsday, Wolverine. I'm kind of hoping that by the time Wolverine is out, I'll be working, so I can just pay for it straight away. Because, oh crap. Yeah, I'm very excited for the next couple of years. Well, like, at least for the next 2 years when it comes to films, games, TV. Clayface is coming out as well. Again, I'm not bothered about that until I see who's playing the DCU Batman. Because do I say it? No, I'm going to say it. I don't want to see Robert Pattinson and David Cornsweet team up. I don't. I'm sorry. Oh, Christ. I don't want to see it. I like how different, like how tonally different they are. And, you know,
they'll take good care of you here.
I just like how tonally different they are, and how I just don't think they'd work well together. Age-wise, it's brilliant. Don't get me wrong. Casting age, Robert Pattinson and David Cornsweet. I don't want to see him. Don't want to see him team up. I just think they're too different. One's grounded, the other's fantastical. It's like, I don't need it. But yeah, I am going to stay for a bit longer just because I don't want to. Obviously, one of my most loyal viewers, Soap Centered City, has just gone for his tea, so I'm going to stay on, and when he comes back, I will. I'll start wrapping things up just because I don't want to just kind of disappear on him. But yeah, I like doing these streams. Yes, I've put it as I don't really care, to be honest. I really don't care. I'll talk about what I want to talk about. It's just that simple. I'm not a full-time. If I wanted to do like an in-depth thoughts on Wolverine, I'd do a video. I just want to talk. And the thing is, as well, I'm probably not even going to let's play it. I'm way too sporadic of a person to do that. Bearing in mind, when I do play Wolverine, it'll be at my dad's, and I don't want to just hog the TV in the living room. So yeah, it's quite simple. It's going to be very quiet. Yeah. I can't wait for the game. I've said that about a million times. I hope no one here drinks, because if you've played a drinking game, whenever I repeat something, you'd probably have alcohol poisoning, which is, not good. Yeah, I do hope that I forgot what I was gonna say. I really forgot. Yeah, I need to get used to like talking to myself again because I'm doing that for Death of a Salesman. It's just crazy what that how that all came about.
Always.
It's just crazy. Like I'm still getting my head around it. I'm excited. I'm really excited, but I'm just like, wow, that's actually happened to me. Fair play. I genuinely didn't think that was possible, but yeah, I'm a busy man now. After a year of just nothing.
You know, that was actually fun.
Oh, I'm glad to hear it.
Suits. To be honest with you, when it comes to the suits for Wolverine, I genuinely, I want to see Deadpool, the movie suits. Obviously, it's an Insomniac game. I'm sure there's going to be movie suits. I wouldn't be surprised if that's the first one that's shown. But at the same time, I don't really mind because I just want some good suits. You know, give us Patch, give us the classic tank top and jeans, give us the other vest and jeans. Give us just give us what you know, what we know and what we love. Weapon X. Yeah, just give us that and we'll be happy. We'll be happy. Obviously, if Wolverine does return in Doomsday or Secret Wars, give us those suits as well. Although, to be honest with you, if they are back, which I hope they will. I don't want to get my hopes up, but at the same time, reports are saying they are, so I'm just kind of playing that one by ear. But if they're back, give them another comic-accurate suit. I want to see the brown and tan one that Hugh Jackman wore, or the variant of Fort Hulk wore.
Spider-Man?
I really want to see that. Just because I think that was one of the best suit designs ever. But other than that, I don't really know what like. I'm happy. I'm just happy to even get in the game. So suits is something I'm not, like rushing for. I want a good story. I want, good setup for hopefully a series. Because I'd like to. Because I do think Peter Parker his journey is nearing its end. I think the final chapter in Peter's story is to fight the Green Goblin. I think that is what it's all been building up to for Peter. So when they're doing the Miles stuff, I would really be happy if Wolverine was the next big focus, because they've done a lot. They've done 3 games for Spider-Man, 3 amazing games. Don't get me wrong, 3 of my favourite games I've ever played. But at the same time, Wolverine is probably the best IP to make a game on. There's a couple of other characters who I want to see get games. I'd love a Daredevil game, Punisher. I know Blade's getting a game. I just want to see. There's so many characters that could get games, but technically speaking, they don't. Not everyone needs a game. Oh shoot, my phone's on low battery and my friggin'. Clean. Do you know what? That'd be interesting. I'd love to see a Daredevil game set in the MCU. It'll never happen because I know they're too busy with the Disney Plus side of things. They're really going for that that story, which I'm loving. By the way, I'm loving it. I can't wait to see Punisher in Brand New Day and his special presentation. I'm really hoping that doesn't mean he's being excluded from season 2 of Born Again. To be honest, I'd kind of prefer. Oops. I prefer season 2. Sorry. I prefer season 2 of Born Again than the Punisher presentation, but I'm not complaining. I love John Bernthal as Punisher. I think he is one of the best casting calls for the MCU. I mean, the Defenders and the Daredevil show from Netflix was always intended to be MCU canon. It's just when the writing issues came about. So I've always considered them to be MCU canon. But yeah, I'm just really excited to see where they go. Yeah, because Daredevil works. I feel like a Daredevil game would play very much like the Arkham games. I know Spider-Man does have some resemblance to the Arkham games, to the stealth and a lot of the combat style. But I feel like if Marvel, or if Marvel really wanted their shot at the Insomniac games, or at the Arkham games from Batman, Daredevil is the one to go. Daredevil is the one to do it. Because they're such, the one thing I will say that will go against that is the Rose Gallery. Daredevil doesn't have, he has some, I mean, other than Kingpin, Elektra, The Hand, and Bullseye, and Muse, he's got some cool rogues, don't get me wrong, but I feel like you'd have to be very careful as to who you're doing, because if you do them all, then you're probably running out of ideas for a sequel. Because I'm going to be honest, I think Lady Muse and Lady Bullseye are the laziest decisions ever. They're just, that is just ridiculous. I'm sorry, but I don't need to see Lady Muse and Lady Bullseye. Just make new characters. It's not that hard. He does have quite a flexible rogues gallery, to be fair. Just not that many rogues. Because a lot of Daredevil rogues tend to fight other people as well, like The Hand fought the Defenders. Kingpin is often at odds with the Punisher and Spider-Man. If they did a Daredevil game, I wouldn't mind it being within the same New York as the Insomniac Spider-Man, just because obviously you've got the Nelson and Murdoch thing already, and I wouldn't say no to a team up between Peter Parker and Matt Murdock before Peter inevitably dies. Or like maybe a prequel to Spider-Man 2 or Spider-Man 1 where Peter and Matt Murdock team up. Because there was that line in Spider-Man, the first game, where Peter was like, this blind guy gave me a card in case Spider-Man ever needed trouble, but how did he know if I was Spider-Man if he's blind? Or something like that. I'm just paraphrasing, but honestly, I just loved it. I love Daredevil as a character. I love him. He's fast became one of my favourite characters in the entire franchise. In fact, I put him up as top 10. Top 10.
They'll take good care of you here.
I love Daredevil.
Thank you.
Daredevil, Wolverine. These characters that I love have had such a good rep this recent, like in the last 2 years. Like the Fantastic Four, they finally had a fantastic movie. They finally got it. Thunderbolts, amazing. Love those characters. Thought they worked really well together. Daredevil, amazing. Deadpool and Wolverine, amazing. So, people who complain about, oh, Marvel's dead, just jog on. Honestly, just let people enjoy what they want. Like, I don't care what anyone says. I'm going to enjoy Daredevil Born Again Season 2. And this is the thing, I've learnt this that recently. I haven't watched Ironheart, or I tried watching Ironheart and I lost interest. Agatha all along, I actually skipped 2 episodes. I was just finding it a chore to watch. Marvel Zombies, I do want to watch it. I had it spoiled, and I'm willing to give it the benefit of the doubt because I love The Walking Dead and I want to keep an open mind. But I'm not in a rush. You know, maybe I'll watch it for Halloween. They are. Marvel Zombies will be my Halloween thing. So they are. That's solved. Oh God, I freaking hate. I deliberately made these so much tougher than they are, just because I like to challenge it. Now I'm regretting it. It takes ages to fight. Right. Please tell me none of these people need taken to the hospital. But yeah, I'm really tired actually. I'm really tired. Oh, that was yes. Sorry, I just rehearsal reminder. Okay. My apologies, I had a student email come in quite late at night, so just seeing what it is. It's a rehearsal. I don't know if this is for me or if it's for the other cast. Oh, no, it is for me. Oh, yeah, that's just, yeah. Yeah, that's all sweet stuff I already know. I might actually call it. I know I said I might drop a message in the chat. Thank you, yeah. So I'm getting kind of tired, I can't lie. There you are. I might actually drop Subsensei your message. Yeah, that's me. Yeah. Okay. I think I am going to call it there, just because. Yeah, I'll drop him a message, just because I am getting quite tired, and to be honest, I do want to go for a vape as well. I don't vape inside my room, just because it's like part of the landlord tenancy agreement is you're not allowed to vape indoors, and I abide by it because I just can't be arsed getting into trouble over it. It's such an easy thing to you know, to not vape indoors. I'd rather just go outside, plus to get the air as well, whereas my room gets really stuffy, and just to then blow vape into it, it's just not pleasant. So, yeah, I think we're going to wrap things up here. It's been an awesome stream. It's honestly been, in fact, it's probably my favourite stream that I've done, possibly ever. I did a Walking Dead stream, a part of my Walking Dead Let's Play a few years ago that had over 100 views, I think. But if I'm being perfectly honest, I don't care about view numbers. I rather just have a good time in the community. Whether that's one person or 1,000, I don't really, you know. I don't complain. I don't complain when it comes to these things. Numbers are not at the fore, you know, unless it's a financial setting where numbers are the most important thing ever, then yeah, sure. But that's for someone else to care about, not me. It's really not for me to care about. So I am going to call it there. Massive thank you to everyone who's been in the stream, whether it's tonight, whether you're watching the VOD, or no matter what. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I am so grateful, and I hope you all have an awesome weekend, and I'll see you very soon.